Happy Sunday fun day, and welcome fam to number one daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. Now that we have entered September and August is behind us, we'll also be discussing the first AI to AI crypto payments now underway, according to Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong. We'll also be discussing JP Morgan Chase customers extract cash from ATMs using supposed bank glitch and immediately regret it. In fact, one guy negative 40 G's. We'll also be discussing the former FTX executive withdraws a filing, alleges the U.S. government broke its promises, and the judge sets the hearing anyways. I'll be breaking down the latest surrounding this, as well as U.S. judge dismisses class action Dogecoin lawsuit against Elon Musk and Tesla. A lot of court updates here today. We'll also be discussing, is Bitcoin success random or calculated? Michael Saylor exposes the hard truth. In fact, Michael Saylor also says Bitcoin to 1,000x to $70 million per coin. In fact, I'll be breaking down the math because it's no joke. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Let's dive in. If you're new to the channel, important to smash the likes. It's free to do so. It takes about a half a second, so please do it. Hit the bell icon, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and let's freaking go. Today is pod episode number 1747. I'm your host, JV. Happy first of the month, September 1st, 2024. August is now behind us. A lot to cover and catch up on in the market. It's a holiday weekend, Labor Day weekend, that is. So, let's kick it off with our market watches we do each and every day. You can see on your screen, Bitcoin currently just above $58,800 on Coin 360. Checking out Ethereum, barely in the green, up 0.5%, trading back above $2,500. Solana up 0.5%, while XRP, Tron, Cardano all correcting and in the red. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com. The current crypto market cap sits at a whopping 2.05 trillion. Jesus. So we're still in the decline here. That's total crypto market cap. The Bitcoin market cap is at $1.15 trillion. We got roughly 46 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance holding on to 56.2%, with the Ether dominance at 14.6%. How high do you think the Bitcoin dominance likely climb for the cycle? Let me know. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours. We got HNT leading the pack, FET and Stark. Below that, Render and Popcat. Which alts, if any, are you bullish on for the bull? Let me know. And checking out the crypto bubbles, we get a visual perspective on the day. Safe to say 85% of the market correcting and in the red, just a handful in the green. And zooming out on the monthly, very similar story, but even more wreckage overall. Some of these alts down 20, 30, 40%, only a handful in the green. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index today, we're in fear, but barely. 1 point lower takes us to extreme fear, and the lower this number goes, the more likely of a pump. So hopefully we get some pumpage here this week to kick off September. Yesterday was at 29, last week at 54, and last month at 57 in greed. And checking out the time chain calendar, so we can see there's roughly 190,000 blocks yet to go into the next halving, scheduled to take place sometime April 2024. You can see the block height we're currently at, 859,421. And you can currently receive 1,707 Satoshis for $1. Not too shabby. 1,700 Satoshis per dollar. Let that sink in. But anyways, fam, let's continue with our TA astrology for the broskies. We'll also be pulling up some of the live charts. So as you can see, this particular headline reads, Bitcoin loses 8.6% in August as September starts with a fresh 2-week low. Here we're looking at the 1 hour chart. Bitcoin shed more than 2% on September 1st as an out of hours monthly close turned ugly for the bulls. Trading views showed Bitcoin price weakness, producing lows of 57.2 on Bitstamp, a level last seen August 16th, a couple weeks back, and coming midway through the weekend, less liquidity conditions made for a grim monthly close, with buyers unable to prevent further losses later. Bitcoin thus finished August down 8%, below its average of 1.75% gains per data from monitoring resource CoinGlass. Its figures likewise reveal September is historically a poor month for the biddy, with an average loss totaling 4.5%. So keep that in mind as well. I mean, history don't lie. And you can see all the numbers here. Quoting Crypto Chase, local level taking a beating. Wouldn't be surprised if it gives way eventually. Bulls want to see 55.5 to 56.5 hold, or decisive PA above 61,000. Losing 55,000 likely means 51,000. Fellow trader Exit Pump noted aggressive short selling at the day's local lows within the weekly close, hours away. And quoting Rec Capital, another analyst, Bitcoin continues to retest the channel bottom. Bitcoin needs to weekly close above 58,450 to confirm that channel bottom, which you can see here, the black support. Retest still in progress. Meanwhile, short squeeze odds target 61.3. CoinGlass liquidity data furthered the bearish narrative, with the price slicing through layer after layer and the journey towards the downwards journey that is over the last week of August. Now we have Crypto Nuevo suggesting that both the upside and downside liquidity hunts could come this week, quoting the analyst here. In a trading perspective, I'm favoring the longs, so I prefer seeing the move down first to hit the liquidations and fill the wick at 56.6, where I could long. So I'm keeping a long order and that 56.6 level on Sunday and Monday in case we see a false move at the start of the week. So there you go, yo. Let me know if you feel we'll likely correct down lower, if some of these analysts are projecting, or do you think we'll likely retest some of the major psychological resistance levels such as 60,000 and climb back above? Let me know your thoughts. And checking out some of the live charts. This is the 1 month chart. We'll zoom our way in, but let me switch the scene up for you so it's clean. As you can see, we're holding on to 58,500 at the time of the live stream. We're going to zoom in all the way to let's start with the 1 hour chart, and we'll work our way back out. So yeah, this is live and in the flesh via TradingView via Coinbase. You can see we do have a big green candle in the past hour, which is good. It's ultimately protecting the current level we're sitting at. We did already tap 57,800 as the bottom for the day. And let's see if we can continue the bullish momentum. You know what I mean? And happy September 1st, family. Now, zooming out, let's check out the 4 hour chart. And as you can see here, we're starting to form a green candle. However, we've been trading sideways and testing lower lows. So there's really no telling. We're not out of the woods yet when it comes to, price action. Anything can happen short term at this current moment. And the 1 day chart, you can see we had the 2 big red candles earlier on in the week, which corrected us back down to the current levels where we're at, currently sideways trading. However, do note on the daily, we do have a target sitting all the way at 47,700. And again, the current local low is roughly 49, which we tapped roughly 2 weeks ago. Will we go lower, or is the bottom in? Let me know your thoughts. And checking out the 1 week chart, we still have that sexy cup and handle target sitting at 125,000. So that's currently in play, I believe, for the fourth quarter of this year. Not investment advice. Take everything I say with a grain of salt and do your own research. And checking out the monthly, as we had pulled up earlier, we did have the 7 green consecutives as far as the candle closes earlier in the year. And then we've been trading sideways for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Let's see if we can finally break out of that sideways trading action here, September. Let me know your thoughts. But let's dive into the next story of the day. Let's discuss the AI to AI payments. That's right. AI is making their own AI payments. This is actually interesting. Headline here reads, first, AI to AI crypto payments now are underway, according to the Coinbase CEO, Brian Armstrong. Coinbase chief executive, Mr. Armstrong, says the artificial intelligence agents are now making crypto transactions amongst themselves. In a new thread on X, Armstrong says the top US-based crypto exchange witnessed its first AI to AI transaction earlier this week. Does that mean the AI is now stacking the biddies? Jesus. Talk about extreme scarcity. Now, here we go, quoting them here. What did one AI buy from another? Tokens, not crypto tokens, but AI tokens, where it's basically from one Lang learning model to another. They use tokens to buy tokens. AI agents cannot get bank accounts, but they can get crypto wallets. Ooh, that is so true. They might not be qualified by JP Morgan Chase to open up a bank account, but anyone could open up a wallet, including the Nipinator. Quoting them here, they can now use USDC on Base to transact with the humans, merchants, or other AIs. Those transactions are instant, global, and free. And according to Armstrong, since AI tech is currently limited in its capacity in terms of using traditional forms of payments, being able to transact with other AI agents to acquire resources is a huge step forward, quoting them again. Today, if you give an AI agent a task and come back in a few days or hours, it can't get useful work done. In part, this is a limitation of the technology itself. AIs can't transact to acquire the resources they need. They don't have a credit card to use Amazon Web Services, GitHub, or Vercel. They don't have a payment method to book you the plane ticket or the hotel for your upcoming trip. They can't get through the paywalls, for instance, to read a scientific article, promote their post on X with a paid ad, or use the growing network of paid APIs to integrate the data in which they need. It turns out everyone benefits from having access to good financial services, including the AIs. So there you have it. Latest development with AI on AI, crypto payment show. What are your thoughts on the future of AI? Do you think humanity is doomed? Do you think the human being will merge into AI and there will be no human beings as we formerly known us as for the future? And this is a great topic of conversation for the uncensored version of the pod, so hold your comments. But yeah, next story of the day. Let's discuss JP Morgan ATM glitch. In fact, people were bragging all across social media. They got this glitch that they're stealing all this money. And then some people try to do that and they got hit with some charges apparently. And one guy's like negative $40,000. Go figure. But yeah, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. 10 out of 10 times, just FYI. But here's the story, yo. JP Morgan Chase customers extract cash from ATMs using supposed bank glitch and immediately regret it. How many of you have saw the viral videos of the guys down like anywhere from 10 to 40,000 trying to do this glitch? Crazy, right? An illicit method of extracting cash from the JP Morgan Chase ATMs is going viral. Posts and videos are spreading across social media of a supposed glitch that appears to be centered on depositing fake checks into the bank ATMs. Once a fake check is deposited, customers are then withdrawing a portion of the funds that are automatically credited to the account. And although the method may place cash in hand, it essentially is check fraud, which I'm pretty sure is a crime. And Chase is already placing bank accounts in the negative for those making the attempt. So not only will your account go negative, but you're probably going to get hit with some sort of fraudulent charges and who knows, potentially be prosecuted and go to prison. Was it worth it, idiots? Just saying. So this dude is currently $40,000 in debt as the outcome of doing the new viral Chase money glitch. You can see 31,000 down pending and another one down 7,700. So obviously the bank has figured out the glitch and is penalizing people. Thank Jamie Dimon for that one. Check fraud involving ATMs isn't new, and anyone caught could be prosecuted, exactly what I figured, and face charges of bank fraud, wire fraud, and other related crimes. And speaking of fraud,
Wall Street is fraud, America is fraud, the world is fraud, banks are fraud, central banks are fraud. We live in an era of fraud. It's all based on fraud, and they get a percentage of the fraud. That's the business model.
Shout out Max Kaiser for so eloquently breaking down fraud and how everything is fraud, and they get a percentage of the fraud, and that being the business model. Spot on, Max. Thank you. ATM software is among the most rigorously tested code in the world, and although it is rare, actual ATM glitches do occur. In November of last year, customers at NatWest Bank in London rushed to an ATM that was spitting out more cash than requested. And it was actually ironic. JV, back in the day, I used to work for an armored truck company when I was very young, in my early 20s. And I actually used to install the ATMs and service the ATMs, program the ATMs, and load the money in the ATMs and kind of do all that stuff. So it's kind of funny hearing this story. But anyways, I digress. And in August of last year, a glitch allowed Bank of Ireland customers to withdraw up to €1,000 at ATMs nationwide, even when they had little or no money in their accounts. So yeah, just like anything else, it's all fraud. They get a percentage of the fraud, and that's the business model. Thank you, Jamie Tapeworm. You're doing a fantastic job. But let's continue moving. Let's discuss the latest with the FTX saga. The headline here reads, former FTX executive withdraws filing, alleges U.S. government broke its promises, but the judge sets the hearing anyways and can care less. We're talking about Ryan Salami. I don't know the proper pronunciation of the name. It may be Salam or Salam, but salami sounds lit. I mean, I'm Italian, and we grew up eating salami. So we're just going to stick with Salami. Ryan Salami has withdrawn a previous court filing accusing the U.S. government of walking back its promise not to prosecute his partner, but a judge has scheduled a hearing on the matter anyways. So the synopsis is like, yo, you're going to jail. You're an executive of FTX. And he ultimately said, I'll plead guilty and do everything you want me to do as long as you don't involve my significant other. And they said, sure, we won't involve your significant other. Then they lied, and now they have involved and pressed charges against his significant other. And now he doesn't want to testify because they didn't stick to their word. I mean, since when does government or prosecutors stick to their word? Probably never, but I digress. Salami is a former co-CEO of FTX Digital Markets, the Bahamian subsidiary of the bankrupt crypto exchange. Last year, the former executive pled guilty to conspiracy to make unlawful political contributions and defraud the Federal Election Commission. Whoa! As well as conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money transmitting business. In May, the judge sentenced Salami to 7.5 years in prison, and he is due to report to prison in October. Well, he got a smaller sentence than Bankman-Fried got 25 years, so 742. So he got 4x, lower sentence. In a court filing last week, Salami claimed he cut a deal with the government and pled guilty to prevent further investigation against the mother of his child, Michelle Bond, a former congressional candidate. And later that week, Damian Williams, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, announced charges against Bond over alleged campaign finance violations related to her unsuccessful run for Congress in 2022. Williams said in an indictment that Salami organized a sham $400,000 payment to Bond from FTX, which Bond allegedly used to fund her campaign. Salami's lawyers claim the government used the former CEO's negotiations to threaten Bond and induce Salami into pleading guilty. Salami asked the court first to dismiss Bond's indictment, but if that didn't happen, to dismiss his own conviction and guilty plea. The prosecution shot back, however, calling Salami's accusation demonstrably false. Quoting them here, Salami entirely omits that the government had a follow-up virtual meeting with Salami's attorney in May 25, 2023 to clarify the status of its investigation into Michelle Bond, whom Salami's attorney also represented, and spelled out for the avoidance of any doubt that a Salami guilty plea would not stop any ongoing investigation into Bond's conduct. In a new document filed on Thursday, Salami's lawyers noted he was withdrawing his previous filing so Bond could bring up the issue in her own case. The former FTX executive didn't recant his previous accusations. However, to be clear, Mr. Salami stands by the facts set forth in the petition and his accompanying declaration. Mr. Salami is withdrawing the petition, however, to allow the facts to be developed by Ms. Bond and a ruling to be made in her case. And on Thursday, District Judge Lewis Kaplan scheduled a September 12th hearing, which is in less than 2 weeks, on the issue despite Salami's petition withdrawal. He also mandated the former CEO's presence in the courtroom. Wow. So he mandated that the former CEO, referring to Bankman-Fried, be present in the courtroom. That's also very interesting. I guess he wants a final look at Bankman-Fried with those eyes of death. You know what I mean? Let's continue where we left off. We broke down the latest FTX saga. Now let's discuss the latest regarding the Doge and Tesla lawsuit that just recently, I think, got canceled or whatever it's called, dismissed, I think is the proper term. Here we go. Headline reads, U.S. judge dismisses class action Dogecoin lawsuit against Elon Musk and Tesla. That's right. U.S. judge tossed the class action lawsuit accusing Elon and his company Tesla of manipulating the Dogecoin market. A group of disgruntled Doge investors sued Musk in 2022, accusing the business magnate of orchestrating a pump and dump via a series of public comments about the popular meme coin. As you know, anytime Doge is referenced in a tweet, it literally pumps because you're drawing millions or hundreds of millions of people's attention to it. And he is one of the most influential people in the world, considering he's one of the wealthiest on paper in the world. Now, Musk's lawyers filed multiple motions to dismiss the lawsuit, and the Dogecoin investors responded by filing amended complaints. The back and forth ended this week when District Judge Alvin K. Hellerstein sided with Musk's legal team and closed the case. Now, Hellerstein drew attention to the specific Musk quotes highlighted in the complaint, noting that he failed to see how the Tesla CEO manipulated the market or facilitated a pump and dump. Quoting them here, these paragraphs allege statements by Musk on Twitter to the effect that Dogecoin might be his favorite currency and that he had purchased some for his son, and that Dogecoin is the people's crypto and the future of currency on Earth, and that Dogecoin might become the standard for the global financial system and the currency of the internet, and that Musk agreed to become a Dogecoin CEO, and that Musk might put a literal Dogecoin in SpaceX and fly it to the moon, and that Dogecoin would pay for that mission, that Tesla vehicles would be bought with Dogecoin and the like. Now, if I was to respond to this quote, all of those allegations to me is gaslighting because it's impossible to put a Dogecoin on the moon, but I find it very entertaining. These statements are aspirational and puffery, said the judge, not factual and susceptible to being falsified. They cannot be the basis of a 10b-5 lawsuit, and no reasonable investor would rely upon them. Well, you must not know the crypto sphere because people actually believe Elon in crypto, and they actually take what he says as literal fact. Believe it or not, as outrageous and crazy as that may seem. So anyways, let me know your thoughts. Clearly, Elon has endless resources for the best of the best lawyers. So I'm not shocked that the entire case got dismissed, but I do feel there's some truth in that claim to where when Elon talks about Doge, it absolutely impacts the market, whether negative, positive. That's up to your interpretation. But let me know your thoughts, family. Now for our featured story of the day. Is Bitcoin's success random or calculated? Michael Saylor exposes the hard truth. And speaking of the hard truth, he also projects Bitcoin doing a 1,000x in price action, sending the Bitcoin price to $70 million per coin. I'm going to be breaking down this math. In fact, it's actually pretty lit. So let's just dive right in and welcome everyone joining us on today's live stream. So yeah, the Bitcoin price has been struggling for the past few days following the market crash, as we already know, as we've been covering here in the stream. Michael Saylor says success isn't random. It's calculated. In fact, he did this post 2 days ago on X. Michael Saylor presented a clear picture of Bitcoin's popularity, indicating why the company has been obsessed with the asset. I mean, that's an understatement. They have 226,500 Bitcoin. MicroStrategy began to hodl Bitcoin back in 2020, and within 4 years, their holdings as of now is 226,500. Even a Japanese company by the name of MetaPlanet started buying more Bitcoin following the Saylor put, competing with MicroStrategy in this race. We call this game theory. However, its popularity is not limited to normal investors, only as countries like El Salvador has also endorsed Bitcoin, which currently holds 5,748 BTC in their treasury, which is worth more than $340 million. Additionally, El Salvador has recently introduced a Bitcoin investment strategy with a certification offering to revolutionize its ongoing investments. Now, Bitcoin, as we know, was launched back in 2009, but it took many years before gaining popularity. However, once the concept of decentralization went out, it became unstoppable with minor declines here and there, but Bitcoin's creator Satoshi never introduced himself to the world, but is still the biggest hodler. They estimate with 1.1 million Bitcoin scattered across all of his wallets. Additionally, Bitcoin ETFs have carried Bitcoin to the next level, which you know went live earlier this year in January 11th. I know BlackRock alone now has over $20 billion worth of volume, and they are now the largest holder of Bitcoin, surpassing Grayscale, which is kind of crazy. But I want to actually get into what's most exciting here today, and that is Michael Saylor. About a month or two ago, he was a keynote speaker at the event BTC Prague, and he makes some very bold projections. He breaks down the math, and he shares with us all of this. So let's break this baby down. Here's the 21 rules he gave instructing how to hodl the volatile next 1,000x in the Bitcoin price. Did I say that? 1,000x. Good Lord. So yeah, here we go. Number one, those who understand buy Bitcoin, those who don't criticize Bitcoin. Yes. And the people who can't see a paradigm shift mock the transition. The people with vision begin to vote with their feet for the new system. Amen. Next up, everyone is against Bitcoin before they are for it. Michael Saylor explicitly referenced his post on Bitcoin in 2013 when he claimed it would likely follow the route of online gambling. This is true. I've covered this actual tweet from Michael Saylor, and it's still up from 2013, claiming that, oh, Bitcoin will suffer the same fate as online gambling, ultimately saying he didn't believe in it. Bitcoin was $892 then and remains an orange portal into cyberspace today. So he missed out then, but it took him, 7 years later, he finally came around. Number 3, you will never be done learning about Bitcoin. No matter how smart you are, you can never outsmart hundreds of millions of companies, tens of billions of humans, or dozens of trillions of AI bots. You will never fully understand the future in which Bitcoin is priced in. Number 4, Bitcoin is powered by chaos. Michael referenced to World War II and communism in Prague, Europe. Would you rather own a house, company, gold, and a national fighting the war, or would you rather own the Swiss bank that holds everyone's gold? Buy Bitcoin because entropy is guaranteed. Number 5, Bitcoin is the only game in the casino that we can all win. Every game in the casino of assets protected by political currency is rigged against you. In a long enough timeline, you are going to win if you keep playing the Bitcoin game. All other games eventually fail. So true. Next, number 6, Bitcoin won't protect you if you won't wear the armor. Get off of 0 and take a 1% allocation. However, you'll look back and wonder why you allowed 99% of your body to be burnt. The more you understand the fire, the closer to 100% of your body you cover in armor. Amen. Put the armor on. Number 7, Bitcoin is the one thing in the universe that you can truly own. All assets in the ancient world are protected by a governing authority over you and the property rights granted by a collective of humans. Until Bitcoin, now your cryptographic keys in your head are your wealth. Damn straight. Number 8, everyone gets Bitcoin at the price they deserve. Michael reflected on how he dismissed Bitcoin at $892 back in 2013 to only deserve buying it at $9,500. So he had to pay roughly 10x. He said then, when Bitcoin is 950,000, people will wait for it to crash to 700,000. Then Bitcoin will go to $8 million per coin. Number 9, only buy Bitcoin with money you can't afford to lose. Reject the system that forces you to take risks to preserve your energy and redirect towards the system that rewards your saving. Ignoring Bitcoin today is a decision to starve yourself tomorrow, and your family, might I add. Number 10, tickets to escape the matrix are priced in Bitcoin. Saylor described how the GDP, CPI, and infinite QE in the matrix in which we live and the price the world from within. The escape valve from the arbitrary collection of data points to fit the narrative is the outlier, which is the BTC. Number 11, my favorite number is 11, by the way. Bitcoin insight is restricted to those who need to know. Saylor described to me at dinner how without Bitcoin, MicroStrategy would have failed. He was going to lose billions, but instead made billions. Michael's Bitcoin increased by 54 million during the 40-minute talk alone. Jesus. Talk about a giga chat. Number 12, all of your models will be destroyed. Saylor on stage predicted he believes 24% CAGR for Bitcoin in the next 10 years is extremely conservative. That'd be $600,000 per coin by 2034. When Godzilla comes to the playground, your model of who wins the game are irrelevant. Shout out Godzilla. Number 13, the cure to economic ill is the orange pill. You got bars. Economics has been a pseudoscience for centuries, and the cure to ancient technology is a new innovative paradigm, upgrading the world to future tech. All of our flawed worldviews on the money are from flawed money. Amen. Take the orange pill while you still can. Number 14, be for Bitcoin, not against fiat. Don't use aggression or violence against a dying system. Instead, be cheerful and constructive into building the parallel system. Don't give the critics the leverage to call you mean, arrogant, or disrespectful. Next up, 15, Bitcoin is for everybody. Saylor claims the need for digital capital has the potential to be half of everything in the future world we are yet to imagine. He said this will drive the price up by 1,000x, which is 70 million per Bitcoin in today's dollars. 70 million. Let that sink in. 16, learn to think in Bitcoin. To conceptualize future tech in terms of ancient tech is an oxymoron. The only way to envision a common paradigm is to view it through the stage at which the city will be built upon. Number 17, you don't change Bitcoin. Bitcoin changes you. You don't have the capacity or the authority to dictate to 8 billion people today how to change their life to benefit you. Saylor then mentioned the 80 billion people yet will dwarf our current world, a 10x in human beings. Cyber hornets. Where you at? Number 18, laser eyes protect you from endless lies. Michael emphasized you do not take your laser eyes off at 100,000 or 1 million. You keep it on. He predicted Bitcoin is going from 1 trillion to 100 trillion, 300 trillion, 500 trillion, which is 24 million per Bitcoin. with the laser focus. 19, respect Bitcoin or it will make a clown out of you. Do you hear that, Peter Schiff? There is no need to mock those who mock Bitcoin because those people mock themselves. Do you hear that, Peter Schiff? To project absurdity onto a truth machine is to betray your future self and destroy your own reputation. Don't be a clown like this guy. You know what I mean? Number 20, do not sell your biddy. You do not put out the fire that keeps your family warm in a freezing winter. You do not sabotage your life raft in the ocean. And speaking of sabotage, I remember that Beastie Boys track back in the day. No, it's a sabotage. Anyways, life is precious. You do not push your economic savings off a cliff. Diversification is inferior intellect. And number 21, spread Bitcoin with love. Be kind. And when the disrespectful critics realize you had their best interests at heart, they will come around and contribute to the network. In time, the work put into Bitcoin will 100x and the price will 1000x as we create 10,000x the fiat. Amen. Now, I'm going to leave you with that, yo. Let me know your thoughts regarding Saylor's very bold prediction. That was from his speech in BTC Prague roughly about a month and a half ago. Let me know your thoughts. And welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the live stream. Saylor tweeted the mathematical formula embedded into the Bitcoin code. That was awesome. He also shows talented programmer. We'd have such a complex and efficient, perfect instruction. The mathematical equation for the halving, that is. Aurora CEO government is criticizing people who say the city isn't safe due to the Venezuelan gangs. Yeah, that's totally an inside job in my opinion. We'll discuss that more in the uncensored version of the pod in a bit. With BRICS nations have more Bitcoin than G7, MAGA plus Maha equals unstoppable. Make America great again. Make America healthy again equals unstoppable. Thank you, Oracle.